There comes a moment in every life when the mirror becomes a battleground, not because of what you see, but because of what you don't. Not the wrinkles, not the scars, not the tired eyes staring back, but the absence of fire, the echo of promises unkept, the quiet grief of potential abandoned in exchange for comfort. And if you're honest, brutally, painfully honest, you know this. The version of you walking through life right now isn't the one who was born to lead it. You've played small. You've delayed. You've silenced your hunger to fit in with people who've long since stopped dreaming. And now you feel it. That pull. That quiet rage in your chest whispering, this isn't it. You were made for more. So today, I'm not here to entertain you. I'm here to confront you. Because the truth is simple. The life you want demands the death of the life you settle for. You cannot evolve and remain unchanged. You cannot build something legendary while dragging along the carcass of who you used to be. You must burn the old you, the one who hesitated, the one who blamed, the one who doubted, and build, brick by brutal brick, a life that commands respect, not by what you say, but by who you become. The first war is always internal. Before you conquer the world, you must conquer your mind, because your reality is a reflection of what you allow yourself to believe is possible. Think about it. Henry Ford was mocked for believing he could create a car the average man could afford. Edison was called a fool after failing over 10,000 times to invent a working light bulb. Disney was fired from a newspaper because they said he lacked imagination. And yet, they built empires. Why? Because their minds were untouchable, steel-forged, immune to doubt, deaf to ridicule, and fueled by unbreakable vision. You see, the average man builds his mindset around his reality, but the uncommon man builds his reality around his mindset. He doesn't ask, is this realistic? He asks, what must I become to make this real? That's the shift. Not wishing, not hoping, deciding. Decide you will not live another day under the rule of your weaker self. Decide that your excuses will be exiled, that your comfort will no longer be king, that the old you, the one addicted to being liked, the one who fears rejection, the one who waits for approval, is being buried today. This is not a reinvention. It's a resurrection. Belief, inner power awakening. You don't need permission to rise. You don't need a certificate. You don't need applause. You don't even need them to believe in you. You need one thing, belief that refuses to bend. Every great man who has shaped history, Lincoln, Mandela, Jobs, Carnegie, began as ordinary, but they believed differently. They believed they had a voice worth hearing, even when no one else listened. They believed their ideas mattered, even when the world laughed. They believed in their mission so deeply that others had to follow. The world doesn't give you respect for who you are. It gives you respect for what you prove through your actions and what you would stand on your way becoming. So here's the truth most won't tell you. Your circumstances aren't holding you back. Your past isn't holding you back. Your lack of belief is the only prison you've ever known. But belief is built, not wished. It's forged through keeping the promises you make to yourself. Getting up when no one's watching. Working when it's inconvenient. Speaking life over yourself when the world only offers silence. You must train your belief like a warrior trained for war. Because when belief becomes your foundation, nothing, no failure, no rejection, no delay can stop you from rising. A man without a vision is a man already defeated. Most people drift. They wander through life hoping to land somewhere meaningful. But hope is not a strategy. And drift is the death of destiny. If you cannot describe your vision in vivid detail, if you cannot see it, feel it, taste it, then you are not building a future. You're just surviving the present. Do you think Rockefeller stumbled into his wealth by accident? Do you think the Wright brothers just tried a few things and ended up in the sky? No, they saw it first. They imagined it with such intensity that the universe had to bend around their will. You must build the blueprint in your mind long before you lay the bricks in the world. What does the life that commands respect look like? Not in vague terms. I'm talking exactly. What does your morning look like? What kind of people do you speak to? What work do you create? What kind of man do you become? Because if you don't know, you won't grow. The subconscious mind follows clarity like a compass. But without direction, it wanders, and so does your life. So set fire to your aimless goals. Forget vague dreams. Get crystal clear. Then build a life that matches it. One decision, one discipline, one relentless action at a time. Vision is the spark, but discipline is a fire that never goes out. Too many start with passion and die in distraction. They speak of dreams, but never meet them in the cold hours of the morning. They chase motivation like it's fuel, forgetting that discipline is the only fuel that burns when motivation dies. You will not build a life that commands respect through bursts of effort. You will build it through unshakable routines, through sacred repetition, through choices that no one sees, but that you feel. Carnegie once said, "You develop courage by surviving difficult times and challenging yourself to grow daily. Not yearly, not someday, daily." It means getting up when your body begs for comfort. It means saying no to pleasure when it threatens purpose. It means mastering your emotions, because they are not your leaders, they are your tools. Discipline is how men rise from nothing. It is how the son of a blacksmith becomes a kingmaker. It is how a boy born into poverty writes a philosophy that changes the world. Discipline is proof. It is the blood sacrifice you make to your future. And those who bleed for their goals in private walk into the world wearing armor forged in fire. Action. Manifestation through relentless execution. No plan matters without movement. No belief manifests without behavior. Action is the evidence of desire. You say you want it, but what are you doing about it? Not just when it's easy. Not just when it's exciting. What are you doing when no one claps, when no one calls, when no one sees? Every great legacy is written in the ink of consistent action, brick by brick, vort by vort, choice by deliberate, defiant choice. Walt Disney mortgaged everything to bring his vision to life. He was rejected by banks, mocked by skeptics, but he kept building because he believed, and more importantly, he moved. Success doesn't meet you at the beginning of the road. It waits at the far end, hidden behind exhaustion, rejection, ridicule, and countless days where you question your sanity. But you keep moving, not because you feel like it, but because the man you are becoming demands it. You act when others hesitate. You build when others sleep. You create when others consume. This is how respect is earned, through sweat that doesn't seek applause, through effort that doesn't seek ease. Because at the end of the day, you don't get what you wish for. You get what you work for, relentlessly, relentlessly, relentlessly. Purpose, anchoring in deeper meaning. Power without purpose is dangerous. Wealth without meaning is empty. Success without soul is a prison dressed in gold. The world will try to sell you vanity, comparison, and hollow validation. But those who command true respect are not chasing attention. They are serving intention. You were not born just to get by. You were not designed to clock in, check out, and die with dreams inside your bones. You are here to build something. Something that outlives your name. Something that echoes long after your time is up. And that calling is buried beneath the noise, under the trauma, under the lies, under the fear that your voice might not be enough. But I promise you this. There is no force more unstoppable than a man on fire with purpose. He does not get swayed by trends. He does not lose sleep over critics. He is not distracted by shiny shortcuts, because his why is louder than his weakness. Purpose is a compass. Discipline is the engine, and together they drive destiny, adaptability, and resilience, becoming untouchable through growth. Life will not bow to your plans. You will fail. You will lose. You will be knocked down, forgotten, underestimated, betrayed, again and again and again. But that is not the end. That is the beginning. Because pressure does not destroy the diamond. It creates it. Fire does not consume the phoenix. It rebirths it. The man who cannot adapt dies with his first failure. The man who rises again, no matter how many times he falls, that man becomes legend. Lincoln lost countless elections before becoming one of the most revered leaders in history. Colonel Sanders had his chicken recipe rejected over 1,000 times after the age of 60. They weren't the strongest. They weren't the fastest. But they were relentless. So when the storm comes, and it will come, do not ask for the winds to calm. Ask to become the storm. Let setbacks shape your spine. Let betrayal sharpen your vision. Let delay deepen your desire. And above all, adapt, evolve, reforge your mindset in real time. Because a man who can adjust, endure, and rebuild without complaint, that man becomes untouchable. Learning and self-education, the rise of the self-made mind. The world is shaped not by those with degrees, but by those with decisions. Formal education may open a door, but self-education builds a house. Andrew Carnegie, one of the wealthiest men of all time, had no formal education, yet he surrounded himself with thinkers, consumed books like meals, and outlearned men twice his rank. Napoleon Hill himself was not a professor. He was a seeker, a relentless student of success. He studied the giants, not for their money, but for their mindsets, because knowledge, applied knowledge, is power. And in this age, ignorance is a choice. You carry in your pocket what Da Vinci would have called magic. You have access to more wisdom than kings once ruled with. But how do you use it? Do you scroll it away? Waste it on distraction? Or do you study like your life depends on it? Because it does. Read the biographies of the greats. Study the patterns of power. Dissect the strategies of men who refuse to stay average. Because when you educate your mind, you weaponize your life. No one can take from you what you've burned into your identity. A man who learns daily cannot be manipulated. A man who reads, who questions, who rewires becomes dangerous in the best way. So feed your mind like your future is starving, because it is. And remember, the man who stops learning is the man who starts dying. Gratitude, grounding the power within. In the pursuit of greatness, never forget the power of humility. Gratitude is not weakness. Gratitude is strength, anchored in awareness. It's the ability to stand amidst the storm and still whisper, "Thank you for the rain. I needed to grow." While others complain, you train your focus. While others want more, you appreciate deeper. Because a man grounded in gratitude cannot be shaken. Gratitude is your reminder that you are not entitled to the opportunity. You are blessed to have it. That every breath, every chance to fight for a better life is a gift, not a guarantee. The men who changed the world didn't begin with everything. Most began with nothing but vision and appreciation for the chance to build. Gratitude transforms your energy. It clears your mind. It magnetizes success, not because you sit and wait, but because you radiate alignment. Be thankful for the struggle. Be thankful for the setbacks. Be thankful for every closed door. They shape your character. Because when you can look pain in the face and say, "Thank you, I'm stronger now," you become unstoppable. And when life sees a man who's both hungry for more and grateful for what is, it gives him everything. Respect, the currency you cannot fake. Let's be clear. You don't get respect because you want it. You don't get respect because you demand it. You get respect because you earn it, by becoming a man who commands it through how he lives. Respect is not charisma. It's not fame. It's not status or followers or loud speeches. It's waking up before the world and honoring your word. It's showing up with integrity, even when no one is watching. It's keeping your back straight when pressure tries to bend you. Respect is built in the shadows, in the grind, in the sacrifice, in the unseen moments where you choose honor over ease. Think of the men you respect most. It's not because they shouted. It's because they stood tall when it mattered. They didn't flinch under fire. They didn't chase applause. They walked with purpose, spoke with clarity, and lived by principle. If you want the world to take you seriously, you must first take yourself seriously. No shortcuts, no masks, no games. Because eventually life will ask, "Who are you?" when no one is looking? And the answer you give, not with words, but with character, is what writes your legacy. Climactic closing, emotional power, call to rise. So now, the choice is in front of you. Not tomorrow, not next year. Now, the old you, the one who hesitated, doubted, delayed, he's done. He served his purpose. He taught you what weakness feels like, what playing small costs, what regret tastes like. Now it's time to burn him, not with hate, but with honor, because every man must shed who he was to become who he's meant to be. Burn the lies, burn the fear, burn the approval chasing, the insecurity, the delay, the self-pity, the weakness, and from those ashes rise. Rise with belief, with discipline, with clarity, vision, hunger, fire, and absolute ownership of who you are becoming. No more waiting, no more second-guessing, no more hoping for a sign. This is a sign. Build a life so real, so focused, so relentless, that when people see you, they feel it. Not just the success, not just the power. They feel the man who earned it. Burn the old you and build a life that commands respect, not because of what you say, but because of who you are.